Number 1. Which of the following could be the height of a basketball hoop at a basketball court? So let's take a look. 0.3 kilometer, we'll change it to meter, which is equals to 300 meter. Okay, and think of your meter ruler, the yellow color meter ruler that you have in class. 30 of them. Could it be that long? That means you need a lot of strength to shoot, to get the ball into the basketball hoop. So that's not the answer. It can also not be 30 centimeters, because if you look at your ruler that's in your pencil case, it's about 15 centimeters. So is that about 2 of your ruler? So cannot be. Now the last one, let's see, 300 meter. Imagine running for 100 meter on the track. One round the track, stadium track, is 400 meter. So if you're going to shoot 300 meter, will be probably from here to here. The distance, is it so high? Nope, it's not. So my final answer is number 1, 3 meters, about 3 meter ruler length. Okay, let's solve this step by step. So I'm going to solve 2 times 3 and 3 times 9 together. So 48 minus 9 minus 6 plus 27. Then next I'll solve the one in the bracket. 48 minus 3 plus 27. Now subtraction and addition, I will do left to right. So 45 plus 27. Answer is 72. Question 3, you do not have the diagram. So can you pause the video right now and I zoom the diagram for you and you try to solve it before I go through. Okay, the base of a triangle, so let me color with blue, of ABC is AB. This is the base. So what is its height? So remember, the height must be perpendicular all the way down to the baseline. So let us see, we have a perpendicular line here. So I'm going to draw it all the way up here. And my answer would be CD or DC. That's the height. This is another question which you do not have the diagram. So again, please pause the video right now and do the question before I go through. Okay, what is the least number of unit cubes that must be added to the figure to form a cube? So let's see, take an observation in this cube that we have. It's a 3 by 3. So it's a 3 by 3 cube, which means its volume is 3 times 3 times 3 equals to 27. So there should be 27 of these unit cubes. But how many do we have right now? Let's count. We have 1 at the top, 4 in the second layer, and 3 times 3, 9 at the bottom. So 1 plus 4 plus 9 gives me 14. And I'll take the total, which is 27 minus 14 gives me 13. So I need 13 more cubes. That's the answer. Paul has 3 times as many marbles as Ethan. After Paul gave away 166, Ethan bought 108. They both had the same number of marbles. So I'm going to start drawing my model by drawing the end, which they had the same amount. Okay, then now we're going to backtrack. Ethan gave away 166, which means he has to take back that 166. That's for before he would have this amount. And as for Ethan bought 108 marbles. So I'm going to take away that 108 that he bought, which means he initially do not have this portion. Okay, so our before model is drawn up till this point. Ethan is here and for Peter is here. And what do they say about that? Paul had 3 times. Oops, just now I've been using Peter, is it? is Paul. So Paul had 3 units. Ethan, up to this point, 1 unit. So again, I'm going to draw a cut down here to do a comparison. And Paul had 1 unit here, and Ethan, same thing. So what does it tells me about this part of the model? That portion would be equals to 2 units, because Peter had 3 minus away this one is 2 units. Oh, I mentioned Peter again. Okay, so Paul had 108. This is equals to 108, and plus 166. So the total is equals to 274. Now they want to find out how many marbles did Ethan have in the end, which is this entire thing, which is 1 unit plus 108. So we have to find 1 unit. 1 unit is equals to 274 divided by 2. I get 136. Nope, 137. Okay, so 137 is 1 unit. Ethan would have 137 plus 108, giving me 245 total. 245 marbles. Daniel had a sum of money at first. He spent $80 of his money on a watch and 1/3 of his remaining on stationery. So this is a remaining concept question. So let's start by drawing a chunk, and he said he spent $80 on wallet, and then 1/3 of his remaining. So let me use another color. The remaining I'm going to chop into 3 parts, and 1/3 of it on stationery. In the end, he was left with 1/4 of the amount that he had at first. So this portion is equals to 1/4, which means this portion will be equals to 3/4, because they are talking about the whole, the amount of money, which is the whole thing. There are 4 units in all. Okay, so let's take a look at the units, the number of parts. In 1/4, there are 2 parts. So if there are 3/4, there will be how many parts? It will be 3 times 2, 6 parts. And let's give our attention to this part of the model. There should be 6 parts, am I right? But 6 parts, there is 1 little part here hidden. So I'm going to take 6 minus 1 equals to 5. And 5 parts is equals to that $80 that he has spent. So how much money did Daniel have at first? Total, there are how many parts? There are 8 parts. And that's what we are finding. But we need to find out one part first by taking 80 divided by 5. I will get 16. So total parts, 8 parts, would be 16 times 8, giving me $128. And that's my final answer. If you do not have model, can you please draw your model now? This question you must draw. Question 7 is a little bit hard, but not really that difficult. Sharon and Angie had some money at first. Sharon gave Angie $60 and both of them had the same amount of money. If Angie were to return $54 to Sharon, so Angie, Sharon, they had the same amount of money, right? In the end. But now Angie were to return that $54 back to Sharon, the ratio would be 5 units. Nope, the other way around. Would be 5 units to 2 units. Okay, So let us see the difference first, because we need the difference of 3 units to find how much money they have. So this 54, NG do not have it anymore. And the difference here would be equals to 3 units, 54 plus 54. This portion here is equals to 54 as well. So I get my answer as 108. Alright, so let us find out how much money did Sharon have at first. Sharon would be this person with 5 units. Okay, so 1 unit is equals to 208 divided by 3, giving me 36. And Sharon had 5 units, so 5 units, 36 times 5, I will have 180. But that's not all, because if you recall in the story, they said Sharon gave Angie $60 and Angie only returned 54. So by right, Angie should return additional $6 more, or Sharon would have that $6 more, correct? So 180, the money that she had, I take back that $6 from Angie, I will have $186. So for answer A, it will be $186. Now B, what was the ratio of Sharon's money to Angie's money at first? So I have to find out Angie's money, and again I'm gonna use this 2 units to find. So 2 units is equals to 36 times 2 equals to 72. So Sharon, Angie's amount of money at first, she have to return the additional $6, right? So 76 minus 6, giving me 66. So Angie would have $66 at first, Sharon would have 186. And now they want to find the ratio. So 186 to 66. And remember, you can use calculator, and fraction is related to ratio. So what you can do on your calculator when you simplify this, you just have to type 186 out of 66 and you simplify it. The answer is 31 out of 11. So my ratio will be 31 is to 11, and that's the answer for B. There were 30 pupils in the concert band. 60 of the pupils were boys. So let's find out how many boys are there first. So 60, 6 out of 10 times 30, I get 18 boys. Okay? But some boys left the concert band and the percentage of boys dropped to 20%. How many boys left the concert? So the boys' percentage dropped to 20%, which means 2 out of 10 times 30. That means I would have 6 boys in the end. So how many boys left? 18 minus 6 equals to 12. 12 boys left the concert band. So do you think my answer was correct? Now, the answer is actually wrong. Why? Let's take a look. Just now before, I used 30 to compare. Am I right? That's the total. But in the second part, I used 30 again as the total. But remember, some boys have left, which means this cannot be used. And I do not know how many boys left, which means I do not know the new total. Do you agree with me for that? So this part is wrong, and which follows the final answer will be wrong. So then what should I do? I need to look at the girls. This part, the girls will help me because there's no change in the number of girls. So previously, if there are 60% of boys, there will be 40% of girls. So 4 out of 10 times 30 equals to 12. There are 12 girls. And this 12 girls refers to 40% at first, but this 12 girls became 80% because they say percentage of boys dropped to 80. That means now this is the new 80%. Correct? So I'm going to use that to help me find out the number of boys left. So if that's 80%, 20% would be equals to 12 divided by 2. No, divided by 4. Okay, I get 3. So in every 20%, there's 3 students. So which means the boys actually drop to 3 students. And now we can do the comparison. Initially there were 18 boys. So 18 minus 3 gives me 15. 15 should be the answer. An electronics store gave a store-wide discount of 15% during a sale. Ben signed up as a member and was entitled to an additional 8% on the discounted price. That means the new 100%. He bought an air fryer for 125.12. Was the usual price of the air fryer. So we're going to work backwards. So this $125.12 is equals to 92% because of this discounted price. So let us find what's 100% in this case. So 125.12 divided by 90 times, no, divided by 92. 92 times 100, I get $136. Okay, so this $136 refers to how many percent during a sale. That is without membership. Okay, so we refer that to here. That is equals to 85%. So we can find the usual price, or what we call the original price of the air fryer, by taking 136 divided by 85 times 100. And I'll get my answer as 160. And that's the final answer. So can you see how the percentage, how the new 100% is used in this case? Okay, strings were sold in rows of 100 centimeters each. Jess needed 13 pieces of strings, each with 22. So I take 13 times 22, and that gives me a total length of 286 centimeters. And since the rows were sold in 100 centimeters each, that means I think Jess would need 3 rows, because 3 rows would be equals to 300 centimeters and is sufficient for that. Do you think my answer is correct? The answer is 3. Okay, if you think my answer is not correct, why? Okay, now we need to think in terms of ribbon. Each of this ribbon was sold in 100 centimeters. And every time Jess needed a complete 22 centimeters for a party. So I cannot add that 100 up. I cannot add 33 times 22. This step is actually wrong. Why? Because I'm adding it up and there will be some broken pieces which I have to join later on. Am I right? With another ribbon to form another 22. But that's not the case. In this case here, Jess cannot cut and join the ribbon together. Am I right? So this part would be incorrect. Instead, I need to find out in that 100 centimeters, how many of this 22 centimeters ribbon would there be? So 100 divided by 22 would give me about, okay, maybe I should use the approximate sign, about maximum 4, correct? That means I would have to use up 88 centimeters, and the rest would be thrown away because I cannot join them up. Okay, so he needs 4 from that 100 centimeter. We just need how many of these 4 ribbons? 13. I can have 4, 4, and 4, and then another 4. So this 4 refers to one ribbon. One ribbon I can have 4, right? So 1 ribbon, 2 ribbon, 3 ribbon, and 4 ribbons. The answer is 4 ribbon. Alternatively, you can take 13, take 13 divided by 4 gives you about approximate of 3 1/4. So you round it up, answer is 4. 4 ribbons needed. Okay, this question shouldn't be unfamiliar to you. We have done it for many times already, I guess. 2 scenario, and you have to find out how much money did George have. So the first scenario, 12 times P plus, it should be minus 6. Why? Since he said he's short of $6, to be able to buy 12 pen, he would need the additional 6 that he did not have at first. So it's a subtraction of 6. The second one, 9 times P, you have $6 left, so plus 6. So my job now is to guess P, the number of pen, and it should be the same number for both scenario, and the last column is to check. So let's start with 5. Small number, so 5 times 12 minus 6 gives me 54. 5 times 9 plus 6 gives me 51. Getting closer, so maybe we should try 4, a smaller number. So 12 times 4 minus 6 gives me 42. 9 times 4 plus 6 gives me 42 as well. So check done. Which means that George, he had 42 pens in that 2 scenarios. Oh no, not 42, $42. So sorry. And then 42 is the answer. But what if I don't use this this guess and check, and I use by big difference and small difference method? Okay, so let's try. So 12 pen minus 3 pen, should be 9 pen. Give me 3. And secondly, comparing the dollars, 6 plus 6 is equals to 12. This is the big difference and small difference. And then lastly, I will take the difference and divide, and I get 4. So what does that 4 represent? It refers to the 4 groups of pencils, the multiples. Okay, so here we have to substitute that 4 inside the equation. 12 times 4 minus 6 gives me 42. And same goes, you try with another scenario. 9 times 4 plus 6 also gives me 42. Okay, so my answer is $42. Okay, to reiterate just now what I've gone through, I made an error here, guessing the amount. So you're guessing P, you're guessing the amount of one pen, or the cost of one pen. So we're assuming that $5 is the cost of one pen, and the next one, $4 is the cost of one pen, and we substitute inside. That's what I meant by guessing P. Okay, this is to clarify. I think I recall asking the class to change this 300 to 324, right? But I think it's a mistake. It's a typo error. So 300 is the correct value that you should be using to solve this question. So sorry about that. Kathy had a total of 300 pencils and ribbons. We do not know exactly how many pencil or how many ribbons in each case. But what we know, after selling 1/3 of the pencil, 2/3 of the ribbons, the number of ribbons left was twice the number of pencils left. So let us try by crafting a model, ribbon and pencil. So ribbon is twice. Okay, now done. So the second part is the most important part. I'm going to apply this in to the model. Let's say the pencil. Let's go to pencil first. Kathy had sold 1/3 of the pencil, which means this portion here would be 2/3 left. Correct? So I'm going to cut it into 2/3, and there'll be one. I add in the 1 unit that was sold. Now, does it make sense? Okay, then let's go to the second part of the model, which is for ribbon. She sold 2/3 of the ribbon. So this portion would be 1/3. Am I right? And I have to craft out the rest of the 2/3. There will be another 1/3 and another 1/3. So this entire portion here will be equals to 2/3. Okay, you need to pause here and understand the parts that I've drawn. So from before, I have already crafted out the before model, before selling, and this entire thing is equals to 300 pencils and ribbons. So to be able to make a comparison, I need to make sure all of them are chopped up into equal parts. So 1 unit here I can cut into 2, and same goes to the rest. So total units, how many would there be? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 3 equals to 15 units. So 15 units is equals to 300. 1 unit would be equals to 300 divided by 15, giving me 20. How many pencils did Kathy sell? Pencil. She only sold one small little unit here, which refers to this. So she sold 20 pencils.